Okay, so the first thing we should expect is the already disruptive, violent behavior of the left being defended by the Young Turks, or various, kind of people on the left that won't be at these things. They will never be on the ground at these things like the right will be, where the right will be on the ground, like broadcasting, simulcasting, to multiple platforms where Antifa is starting to be violent, where you never find fucking Hassan Piker on the ground getting the fucking story, because of course he's super awkward and weird because he's a phony. And so when he talks to people who aren't like it's incredibly vetted by himself, and that he knows, like it's like, well, they're at my mansion, eating my food, it's like this person's my guest, I get they're probably not going to step out of line, on my show. But now I'm just ebullient. I gotta upload the one from yesterday first. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is incredible. Look at this. It's amazing. What an amazing morning. See, God be praised. Look at that. That motherfucker better not be shadowing me behind me. He's like a weirdo. Every once in a while, I'm like, what the fuck? Where do you come from? Who is that? Like, I'll stop, look around. I'm like, what the fuck? Better not be shadowing me, buddy. Anyway. Not gonna get the drop on me, Chucky. Anyway. Wow, look at that. It's like magic. That's why it's like my life is magical. It's like this. I go to work, and then when I leave work, I'm back in the supernatural fight for the Republic. Using the power of the electronic internet. God dang, it's cold as fuck out here. It is hella cold. I gotta give it up to some of these runners and shit. They'll be out here in the dark, just trotting along, like running like fuck. Anyway. A story that is, so I caught, everybody was, there was some bimbo reporter from like Brazil or something who kept asking Trump stupid ass questions. And so she's chatting, and finally somebody's like, so what are you signing there, Mr. President? Stupid bimbo, shut the fuck up. And so at one point, one of the people brought up that one of the things he was signing had to do with the senior executive service. And I was like, holy shit. Out of all the rigmarole happening here, the actual name Senior Executive Service was just said out loud, and he's signing an executive order about them. So I just saw the story about it. So there's 4 of these that are reforming the public service sector, and and it's in zero hedge, and so probably a lot of people, they're going to they're going to quit. They're going to self re-immigrate, because they won't want to go back to Washington D.C. because of Washington D.C.'s relative dangerous qualities of having a lot of dangerous people there who are allowed to do danger things to you, and you're allowed to suffer from those danger things, but you can't pack heat and punch a hole in them and scatter their feathers for it. So what it's looking like is that there's that there's first part is you're coming back to town, and you're going into the office. But the second and third parts and fourth parts, it's like the second part I would have to take a look at again, exactly what that was. But it's parts 3 and 4 that have to do with the senior executive services. That one senior executive service members, it was a whole thing of if you do certain things, you could get fired. Remember, senior executive service people can damn near not even be fired. They could commit crime and not be fired. Yeah. So now it's, no, you actually can be fired, and 2, you have to do what you're told. And if you don't do what you're told, back to the earlier one, you could be fired. Because every department is actually run by the senior executive service director of that department, who then talks to the person who talks to the president. And and that whole arrangement now is being altered. That it's like, yeah, the president's in charge. You are going to do what he says, or you're going to get fired for insubordination. That's the key one, is that the third one, or the second or third one, what the firing thing was about was insubordination, and a variety of other violations of the rules and stuff. But the key one was insubordination, like that the person just fundamentally doesn't do what the orders are coming down from the executive branch. And that's the whole thing with the senior executive service. They're kind of their own government within the government that are paid tremendous amounts of money to do whatever they kind of fucking want. And it's a club that now does seem to be associated with neocons and the Democratic Party in general. One of the big things is that the best part about this, there's going to be various types of lawsuits and things like that'll probably be filed, which will literally be that these people are going to be saying, yeah, I work for the United States government, but I should be allowed to kind of do whatever I want. This is going to be the argument that they're going to have to put, like this idea that the president can just fire me, or somebody who's in charge, who is accountable, wants me fired, and held accountable. Like, no, you're not allowed to do. And so this is going to then. The beauty of this is the Democrats have to let the senior executive service take an ass whooping. And the other reason why is because what's going to happen is it's going to further expose the senior executive service. And the fact that you can't really get a yearbook of these people. You have to sort of guess who is senior executive service. And then go looking for information about that. They're not forthcoming about their existence, unless you're of this kind of college-educated class, which, remember, it excludes people without college degrees. That's the other part about it. It's specifically the college-educated. And which makes sense for the kind of job generally that it's filling. But it just has to be understood now that everything about this is what I was looking for. We needed Donald Trump to bring up the senior executive service. We needed the GOP to lose this weird treasure. Like this thing that, oh yeah, well, eventually I could just get rehired by the government. Tee-hee-hee. This is going to be this is going to have a very, very interesting outcome. Because then the other part of it is, if anybody complains about it, the other thing is, we still don't know how ruthless the Doge reports are going to be. Remember, Elon is ruthlessly truthful, and so it could very well be that if it's hardcore, rugged, and raw, then what's going to happen is Elon's going to have these, this look at the senior executive service, and he's going to fucking blaze it up. And then this idea that none of us really know who these people are. And then if they complain about this, what the other part about it is, it's going to be like, did you know that this sort of secret part of the government has an entire set of lawyers protecting it from anybody doing anything to them for what they do completely on their own? And that's going to be all out there, because there's no way any of these people are going to react truly strategically, because they're not really coordinated. Doing things for the sake of evil usually is doing things for your own purposes. And it's just one of those things that at a certain point it becomes, well, everybody really has their own interests, and they're doing this either out of whatever kind of kooky idea of their cause is, which, remember, no two kind of liberals can say they believe the same thing with the same words, where that's not the same with the right, where you'll have groups of people who will absolutely be like, oh, and they can even say categorically, this idea, that idea, this set of ideas, that set of ideas, these are all what I believe. They can name certain things that are absolutes in their thinking that the left can't really do, because of this sort of idea, one of gatekeepers and the gatekeeping quality of the left. But then also this idea, really, the reason they have gatekeepers is because it's this idea of people are deeper and deeper, or more and more ascended on the left. That's a better way of putting it. More and more ascended, more and more enlightened. They've reached different levels of leftist enlightenment. They've done the work. Right, there we go. Finally. That's one of the most troubling phrases that they use. One of the most troubling phrases that they use. They're doing the work. Anybody who knows about the occult knows that phrase. They know. If you study the occult, you have run into this in various forms. And the more you know about the occult and sort of New Age ideas, knows about things. I think it came out of the Esalen Institute, that eventually that becomes something called the work. But then the best part about it is then, of course, those of us who are on the right, who are we're just funny American guys having a good time because we're good boys who didn't do nothing wrong. We're just giggling because it's like, yeah, it's a work. yeah, you mook. Yeah. Get worked, you mook. What the fuck is this? Whoa. Look at that. What are those things? It must be a sign. Poor kid. Lost their little doll. You know that kid is probably going fucking bonkers. Bananas. Like it was like somebody's younger sibling going to the bus stop, insisting on bringing that fucking thing. Then sure enough, they lose it. Mom's like, I told you. And it's like, I wasn't gonna lose it. Oh God, I love that thing so much. Oh, why is life like this? Blah. Blah. When kids just don't understand. I summoned all my power all my power to not lose my favorite thingamabob. And I lost it. And Mom told me I was going to lose it, making her right me wrong. And the levels of frustration I'm feeling are way too beyond my childish mind. Blah. See, that's the way I see the child's mind, when stuff like that happens. Thinking back to when I was a little boy. But yeah, so now the coming summer violence won't be impressive. It'll actually be pretty lame this time. Why? Because they don't got black guys. The brothers are out. This is now, and I'm. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, but you guys know, Hood. A lot of you guys know. A lot of those crazy white hoes were hot. You saw pictures of them now and then, and you'd be like, that bitch is hot. Why the fuck is she fucking around with these these Antifa guys don't know what their penis is for? What is she doing? No, she was totally bonked. Totally and completely bonked. These white chicks who thought they were going to get involved into political violence, and they're fucking bonked. And, yeah, and they look stupid now. They look real fucking stupid now. They're old. They're a few years older. And 4 years is not a short amount of fucking time. 4 years changes the way your body moves. When you're in I was rioting at 21. It was so great. Blah, blah, blah. Now I'm 25. And I'm a little heavier. And the prick makes me feel sick, and I don't have as much fun being a fucking cray-cray, and my friends are gone from that time, or they're all fucked up, and I mean, like, a lot of dude, the Northwest is scuffed, nigga. Straight up, the Northwest is scuffed, my nigga. And there's some of these women who I saw, I'm like, no, you're hot right now. And sure enough, it took just halfway through the Biden administration, and these bitches got fucked up looking. And so it's not going to be the same kind of summer of love, because you don't got niggas on your side. And that's all it comes down to. You are a bunch of misshapen, defective white people, and you don't got niggas on your side, so you're going to fucking get housed by your own police forces. That's what's up. And that's what the fuck is up, Antifa, and all of you people who are into that shit. And the worst part is when people start laughing at seeing white hoes get banked on by the police. Because you know that's coming. The police don't have to fucking, I'm going to pull you off of my friend. It's going to be bank zone now. Nobody's going to have a big problem with, so you were pulling on the police officer and he banked on you. Well, what were you doing? And see, because there's not even going to be the same kind of money for the National Lawyers Guild. Check it out, homies. Where's that money coming from? Who's donating that money? Is that money coming from some federal government thing? I think not. But no, what we're going to do is we're going to have, like, at the various state levels, we're going to have them give us money so that we could commit crime and then, like, have ourselves defended. You better hope that works. And if you fuck around and get federal charges, it doesn't matter what you think. You fuck around and get federal charges, which I'm guaranteeing you, National Lawyers Guild, there's going to be some of those Stephen Miller types floating around. And they're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting. And they are going to hit you with federal charges. You're going to be like, green hat lawyer guy, get me out of this. I went to college. And then some Stephen Miller dude is going to be like, dun, dun, dun. Here's the federal charges, motherfucker. And that's it. They're going to stack them on like hotcakes. And then you're going to be in real lockup with people who really don't think that you guys are cool. And yeah, you're going to be in there with other terrorists, because it won't be much longer until you all commit enough violence that the federal government is going to start discussing your just people like you are in a gang, people like you are in some kind of political movement. They're going to figure out a way, and they're going to hit you with nasty federal charges. And it won't stop you. You will fall into this trap. You have to. It's the nature of your personalities. The BLMers, obviously a big part of BLM was come up. A lot of young Gen Zers need to get this idea. Boomers and Gen Xers very much, and millennials too. You see it with a lot of millennials. Millennials totally perfected the art of coming up. You've got like something that for 10 minutes is going to make you $1 million, and you milk it for everything you got. And you get that money, and then of course you typically live like an idiot and blow it and have to try to have good times again. Come up artists are like that. They're gamblers to a great extent. Some people are very smart about coming up, but most of the time they're not. So understand that about the fake it to make it. Like, how do people get rich and then lose everything, and it's the way that it's come up. Not the slow building of wealth coming up. Yeah, these are just some thoughts I was starting to have, seeing how things are starting to pan out. I needed a couple days to kind of like, and boy, oh my gosh, my room looks so sick. I got like one more little bunch of like knickknacks to deal with. But yeah, this is gonna be a good year. And gold at least is at 2750 something. Whew. 2760 something. I mean that 20, but it's gonna be 2800. It's gonna be 2800 in very little time. I should just face that. It's gonna be 2800 in very little time. The window is closing. The last window, it looks like, is platinum and to some degree silver. But I mean, platinum is the last window for people to get in and get something that's probably going to shoot way up. People are already saying they're like, at the ratio that gold is going up with the natural gold to silver ratio, they're like, silver would have to be over $100 if it went to its natural true ratio. And if that happens, we have entire sectors and industries that everything will change. And the last thing, if any of you are monitoring the not gynoid, not bioroid, the living computer thing, yeah. Oh, by the way, I want to show you these. Yeah, can't really see it. Yeah, well, I'll show you some other time. There's these pants called Red Cap, and they're very nice. They're like super Dickies. It's like what Dickies wanted to be. It's kind of weird. It's weird to describe. But, yeah. But, all right, talk to you guys later.